So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. We have Italian opening. Knight d4. Okay. This is a trap. The thing is, if white knows how to deal with that, black will lose something in the opening. For example, white should take the knight, and that's the best move, and black will lose the pawn structure. This e5 pawn will go to d4, so black have this double pawn. This is not a good pawn structure, especially at this very early stage of the game. And white can play d3 and later castle, and white will have pawn majority at the king side. So the reason why I said this is a trap, because if white take the pawn, black can utilize this knight e5 with bishop queen g5. It's not easy to find if you saw this the first time, or if you don't understand the move behind it. If you take the pawn, black take this pawn, and if you take the rook, and black will take your rook, and if bishop to f1, that's the only move, and queen to e4. If knight to e2, then queen to e2, the queen will be captured. If bishop to e2, and black can play knight c2 and win another rook. So yeah, so black will be way better. And if you move rook to, if you move rook to f1, you don't want to take the rook, and I think this is even worse. Queen e4, bishop e2, and f3 with the knight. That's a mate. So let's see. And the game ended up white taking the knight. So white know how to deal with that. And d3, yes, that's a good move. And knight d2, bishop c5, castle, castle, b3. So well, I actually will move knight to b3 to attack the bishop. Why not, right? Attack the bishop and attacking the d4. The d4 pawn is a weakness. So if we move the b3, this square will be like a weakness, because maybe the knight will move to c3, and that would be a problem. So d6, bishop b2, and now bishop to g4. We play knight f3. Instead of knight f3, I will move pawn to f3, because knight f3 we just make the knight pin, right? So this is a little bit passive. c6, black can actually play d5 to remove or resolve this double pawn, and also control the center. So d5 is a good move. So c6 is a little bit unnecessary, because we can push the d5 straight away. Rook e1, okay, I see. Black wants to trap the bishop. That's a very interesting idea. So white should play a4 to stop b5, and black can play d5 after a4. But white didn't notice this move. b5 is a really good move. Take, and b4, and rook e8. So now black's better, because up one minor piece. That's a great advantage. e5, knight to d7, bishop to g5. Well, can black just take knight? If you take the bishop, I will take your bishop. White lose the knight. And if you take the queen, I can take your queen. And if you take my bishop, I can take your bishop. Still, white lost the knight. So bishop g5 is a mistake. So maybe g4 is the move that we can resolve the pin. That's very important, because knight e5 is coming. Black didn't play bishop f3. Exchange. Okay, queen d1. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to move, because if you move the knight, f2 will be a weakness. Like rook f8 is also coming. But if you don't take the knight, black's still better. We don't have to move the bishop to c3. I think the bishop at d4 is way better than c3, aiming at f2. We just move the rook to f5. Involve all of our main pieces to attack the f file, the knight and the pawn. g4, g5, queen4. Okay, bishop back to h6, h5. I think the knight is losing. So maybe I think white should move the knight, because it's not pin anymore. But after pushing these two pawns, the ping is even dangerous because there's no G2 pawn protecting the knight. So now black is winning. Yes.